Community Viewpoint.
Well, hello everyone out there, and welcome to Community Viewpoint. I am Donna Lamb, and I'm sitting in today for John Pollock, who is just a little under the weather. And John, if you're watching, we hope you're feeling a whole lot better today. So it is my privilege today to welcome a longtime friend, Mr. David Blacker from the Death Valley Natural History Association. And here he is.
Thank you, Donna. I'm really thrilled to be here.
Oh, yeah, me too. This is always fun. So David has a whole bunch of information for us today, mainly about Scotty's Castle and what's going on out there after the big floods in 2015. So you want to give us a rundown?
Sure. Well, as most people know, or I hope most people know, October of 2015, there was a major flood event that happened at Scotty's Castle. Mm-hmm. They had, I believe it was now 4.5 inches of rain in 6 hours, I believe it was. That came down that canyon where Scotty's Castle is located. I'm happy to announce that Scotty's Castle's okay. But for those who have been up there, there was a number of other buildings in the Scotty's Castle complex there that were damaged, and we lost 8 miles of road. So it's been a major undertaking by the Park Service to get that started, and a lot of the compliance work and the planning work has been done, and we have a number of projects that are getting ready to start. But before they can start, there's going to be some public scoping meetings coming up for the environmental impact statement. One of them will be here in Pahrump Monday night, December 4th at 5 p.m. at the Bob Roode Community Center. Please, if you have the time, please turn out and see what's going on. The preferred alternative that the Park Service is asking for is really incredible. It'll be really nice to see Scotty's Castle restored, the visitor center redone, the new road system that they're going to put in, and it'll all be open to the public, hopefully by early 2020 if all goes well. So.
Good. I know that there was a whole lot of restoration work that had to happen with artifacts and things that were buried up to the axles, and
right.
So that's all going well, and
it's going very well. I'm trying to remember how many thousands of artifacts are actually in Scotty's Castle. The castle itself, where you guys took the tours and came in and you saw the dishes and the lamps, everything in that building is an artifact. There's more than 20,000 artifacts just in Scotty's Castle itself, and that's not counting the rest of the collection that's not out for people to see. With the destruction that happened at Scotty's Castle, with the loss of the water line, the water system meant no fire suppression whatsoever. The loss of the electrical meant that there was no climate control. And even at Scotty's Castle, it's still over 100 degrees there in the summer, meant that we actually had to move all of the artifacts out. So right now, Scotty's Castle's empty.
Wow.
It is a surreal experience to be inside Scotty's Castle now when there is no furniture in it. It's an incredibly hollow feeling.
Yeah.
But all of that has been moved out and is now at a secure location where it is properly climate controlled and is curating's being done. But now is a great time for us to do a lot of reproductions, restoration work, and conservation work on a lot of the stuff that was at Scotty's Castle.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the projects, of course, is the restoration of the theater organ.
Oh.
And yeah, for those who know, we used to do a organ concert every year. We'd bring in organists from all over the United States to come in and play, and it's an amazing instrument, but it was in pretty bad shape. So we're hoping that here within the next 1.5 to 2 years, we'll have an entire restoration done.
Oh, that will be awesome.
And we'll play it at the grand opening.
Oh man, that's going to be so nice. And you don't know a date for the grand opening yet?
No, we're still a little too far out for that.
Yeah. But even so, I understand that you're taking tours out there right now?
We are. This is really a great program that was originally started by the Park Service. The Park Service knew that there was a great deal of desire for people to get in and see what had happened. Unfortunately, with the constraints that are on the Park Service, they weren't able to jump through all the hoops that were necessary to be able to put on tours up there. There's a lot of liability issues, transportation issues. So they came to us, the Death Valley Natural History Association, and we were thrilled this spring to do what we're calling the Scotty's Castle Flood Recovery Tours. It's very limited to the number of people we can take, and we can only get up there 1 day a week.
Oh.
So it was incredibly popular this spring, and we're starting it again.
Okay.
So starting actually tomorrow, December 2nd, we will start our Scotty's Castle Flood Recovery Tours. They are every Saturday. We have 2 tours that go in. One goes in the morning, one goes in the afternoon.
Okay.
Each one can only be 13 people.
Wow.
Because we need to be able to fit everybody on one 15-passenger van. You have to register ahead of time.
I was gonna
That's
ask.
very important.
Yeah.
Don't just show up
Yeah.
because we're going to feel really bad that we have to disappoint you. If you go to our website, dvnha.org, there'll be a link on there that'll take you to where you can register. And we're going to do them every Saturday, starting December 2nd and going through the middle of April. So hopefully we'll be able to get everybody on there. It's $25 per person, and that is considered a donation. So all of the money that we're raising from these tours are going to stay at Scotty's Castle
Great.
to help pay for restoration, starting with the organ and then moving on to other items after
All
that.
right.
So,
Yeah, I bet that's at a huge cost. I mean,
well, the liability issues are huge because it's not a paved road anymore. Once you get past the Ubehebe turnoff, you are basically on part of a paved road, gravel road, unimproved, dirt area, basically. I believe they're showing a photo now of what the road looked like after the flood. That 8 miles of road between the Nevada-California line and the Ubehebe turnoff destroyed.
wow.
It was completely impassable. And to this day, there's only a small portion that's accessible. And so at this time, there's a nice big gate there with a big lock. Don't go past the gate. Don't climb over and go for a walk. It's still not a very safe area.
Yeah.
So
It's just amazing how much damage 4.5 inches of rain can do when it comes all at once. So
somebody asked me, why the damage was so hard, and it's Death Valley is basically made out of brown sugar. As soon as you get it wet, it just dissolves
Melts.
and flows away.
Yes.
It's amazing what water can do in the desert.
yeah, it really is. And I know you mentioned earlier that now is really the best time to be out there.
Oh yeah, the weather, as you guys have seen here in Pahrump, the weather is fantastic.
Yep.
And if you want to come and visit Death Valley without huge crowds, now is the time to do it. Between now and Christmas, or let's say the week before Christmas, the crowds are always much smaller. The entire park, except for Scotty's Castle, is open right now. So if you want to come to Death Valley, now's the time to do it.
Now's the time. And boy, we have had some beautiful weather to do
Oh,
that.
boy,
That's
haven't
for
we?
sure.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite times. Well, this is my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, definitely. So I also wanted to mention for a minute that the Southern Nye County Conservation District that John and I are both on is working with Death Valley Natural History Association, the park, the Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge, and several other places in Nye County to provide field trips for the kids every year, and they talk about water conservation. It's the transportation is paid by the Nye County Water District, which is also nice. And it's a great program. The kids all love it. We've had so many kids go through that, and we're formalizing it now, so it will definitely happen every year from now on.
And we're thrilled about that because we've been running the Death Valley Rocks education program in Death Valley for a number of years now. It's been nationally recognized. It's a fantastic program, especially for getting local school groups into the park.
Yeah.
We're so glad that we can do that for Ash Meadows too.
Oh, yeah, that's
because
so
it's such an
awesome.
incredible place.
There is nothing like hands-on, first-hand education for these kids.
Kids who don't like science at all, as soon as you get their hands in the dirt, the whole thing changes.
Yeah. You know what else I have noticed over the years is that the children, when they see that for the first time, they are so enthused. They go home, tell their parents, and then the parents come out and bring the other kids too.
Yeah.
It's contagious. The place is just absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, and I was also sad to hear that the ROCKS program is not the 3-day program anymore. It's
No, the 3-day multi-night program was very successful, very, very labor intensive and incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
We're actually able to bring 4 times as many school groups to the park for a day program as we could for an overnight program.
Oh, yeah.
And we would rather be able to have more children get into the park and enjoy that education program than to turn people away.
Yeah.
Just because there's not enough time to have them spend a night.
To have them all, I know, and it was restricted kind of to like 5th or 6th grade for a while, but this way it opens it up to children of more ages.
Exactly, and even if, I mean, anywhere from 1st grade through high school, if you want to bring a class to Death Valley National Park or to Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge, it can be arranged. There are ways we can help. I can tell you that the staff at both Death Valley and Ash Meadows love it when school groups come, and they will do everything they can to make sure that they have people available to talk to those classes.
They really do. I've got to say, over the years, the Park Service and also the Ash Meadows Fish and Wildlife, they've been great to work with. They've been just wonderful, and they provide this wonderful education. I even learned a lot on several of the trips that I went on.
Well, and if you haven't been to Ash Meadows in a while, the new visitors, I keep calling it the new visitor center at Ash Meadows, is amazing. And it was entirely paid for with non-tax dollars. That was all part of the Sniplama land sale deal around Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So all of that, developers basically paid for a brand new visitor center at Ash Meadows.
Ash Meadows.
Not one tax dollar.
And it's awesome. I've been there numerous times, so if you have not been to Ash Meadows, you definitely should go. Well, we are almost out of time, so I just wanted to reiterate a couple things. Go to Death Valley now.
Yes, please, tomorrow.
Tomorrow would be good. Scotty's Castle starting tomorrow. We'll have the tours.
Go to dvnha.org and get signed up.
And make your reservations soon, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to see that.
We completely sold out all the spring ones this last spring, so please sign up fast.
Okay, so it's imperative. Get that done. And thank you for joining us today. And again, a shout out to John. We love you, buddy.
Take care, John.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Community Viewpoint.